Hi everybody, this is Tina with Rehatch Designs. Hope everybody's doing well. I have decided that I am going to just kind of try and do a little bit more craft with me type things and post more videos and maybe not worry about making so many tutorials because then I end up doing less videos because I can only think of so many things. Really, I feel a lot of pressure when I'm doing a tutorial. So anyway, what I thought I would do is I'm going to go ahead and kind of do a few more kind of just craft along with me, and then I'll pop in a few more. Maybe I don't like to call them tutorials because it does put a lot of pressure on me. Just kind of, this is how I do it, I guess. I'm trying to have to, if you notice in my playlist, I don't put my tutorials in a playlist that says tutorials because I just kind of feel like there's so many people that do things and they do them much better than I do, or they do them differently than I do. I just really kind of feel like, oh, well, this is how I do it, or let's try. And a lot of it is let's try this, because sometimes you're just trying it with me. So I'm gonna try and do still maybe one of those a week, but I'm gonna at the same time I'm gonna just maybe do a little bit craft with me, and then some people that are newer will get things from that. I think. I mean, that's how I learn things. I just watch people and I put my take on it, and that's how we do it. And so with that, I probably a lot when I make a journal and I do everything from start to finish. What I have noticed, and this is what I did, I went through my playlist and figured out what people watch and what they don't watch. There's just certain things that people are interested in specifically, and the decorating part, I think that that's kind of personal and everyone does it differently, but at the same time, some people love watching that process too. So I don't know, I like watching other people do things because I get ideas from them, I get inspiration from them, and to me I find it very relaxing. But who knows. So that being said, I don't know that I will do a start all the way to a finish to where you watch me do the whole process. I will probably just pop in and do certain parts of it and then show you the end product. I think I've gotten better this year about showing you guys the end product, because a lot of times I would go, this is how I make a cover, and this is how I do this, and then you would never see the end. And part of it is I don't always finish things I start, which is something I am going to try and do more of. I'm sure I would be better at it if I didn't have a YouTube channel and I wasn't trying to come up with new things all the time. And in the process of doing new things, you don't finish the old things. So I could be a little bit more, less squirrel if I just, could think about just doing what I was doing. Anyway, that being said, guys, chit chat all the way, I am going to show you what I'm working on, which I should have had done already at least a week ago, but had a lot of things come up, and of course we always allot time for things and then we don't finish. But I am on a guest design team for TaylorMade Journals, and if you've never been to her Etsy store, you should go there. She has so many. I have gotten things from her all along just because I loved them, and she wanted me on her guest design team, and I'm very honored. But I just wanted to show you, I had intended to have this done, and my goal is to have this done probably by, maybe by this upcoming weekend. That's my goal. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. I have Christmas stuff, and I'm going to take a picture of those too. That's another thing. Talking about things that we're going to do. I did it last year, and I think I did it the year before. I have to go back and look of the mess that I have after Christmas. Okay? I put this on myself because I always overcommit, and I end up going crazy trying to do things, and turns into a mess. And partly my issue is I don't have my Christmas things in my craft room. I have a really small craft room, and what did I decide it was? Like 10 by 11 or 11 by 12, something like that. So it's not a huge room. I kind of like it that way because I like everything close to me. But I have all my Christmas stuff I usually keep in another room, and then Christmas time comes. I have this giant game room right next to me, and I also have a media room and a bed. Oh, it's just ridiculous how much room is up here. But I take the pool table that nobody ever touches, and it has like a ping pong table thing over it, and I put all my Christmas stuff out there, and then I go and I pick it through there and decide what I'm going to use and not use. Well, then by the end of my whole Christmas season, it's a disaster. Nobody can walk up there. I mean, I'm embarrassed for anybody to come upstairs because it looks ridiculous. So I have decided, all that being said, that I am going to take my Christmas stuff and I'm going to try and incorporate it in my craft room. And the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to take out things that I don't use in here. Okay? There's a lot of things in here that they're crafts that I occasionally do or things that I do, but I don't use that. So I'm going to take that out. I have, like I said, I have several adjacent rooms. If any of my kids come home to live with me, I'm in trouble because their closets are full of my stuff. But I'm going to take that out and put all my Christmas in this room so that I can work more on that stuff during the year. Because I don't do it because I know I would have to take everything out, look through it all. So I'm going to try and do that and help myself out. So I'm going to be doing some organization stuff, and I've ordered some things and talking about organization tips here and there. Nothing, earth-shattering, but just kind of what I'm doing. And you might be interested. I mean, I saw something today on one of the Facebook posts that I was looking at. I don't remember which one. And I immediately went, wow, because that will solve a need. Hopefully that'll be here in the next couple of days and I'll show it to you. But, just maybe it might help you, okay? The one thing you're going to learn about when you do junk journals, you accumulate a lot of stuff. I think it's because a lot of people are using different crafts, different genres, like you might be doing mixed media and you're adding that to it, or you might be doing, you're using material and sewing, or you might be doing a little bit of, paper crafting or die cutting and use some of your card. I mean, there's just so many things that you're incorporating, which is why I think it's so much fun, and I think it's just growing like a wildfire, because it does incorporate all those things and you don't get bored. So, but consequently, you do seem to collect a lot, and then that's another thing. I think part of the fun of it is all the collecting of all the different things and the old things, and so anyway, I'm going to be doing some of that. So I just wanted to kind of talk about some of the things I'm going to do, and I am going to be making a winter journal. That's one of the things I'm going to do. I do realize that we're already in the first week of January. I intended to have it done by now, but I'll have it done at worst by Sunday. Okay, so what I want to show you is this is tailor-made journals. That is the name of her shop on Etsy, and this is A Winter's Tale, and I am going to be doing this. It's really kind of hard. I don't know if you can tell, but these just look like hand painted watercolor, beautiful pictures. And I'm just going through, I don't even know if I printed everything off. I don't think I did. Here's some of the pages, and I print on both sides a lot of times, so I'll show you that. And I don't think I'll use all these pages, but I usually print them all off just so that people can see. And I haven't really made up my mind if I'm going to make one journal or two journals. And you'll see why in a minute. And I mean, they're just gorgeous. This has kind of a lot of blue and browns in it, which I love. That's not the real gleam. I don't know what happened, but it's like after Christmas, where I use so much glitter and bling, and I mean, come on, it's Christmas. You have to do that. But I'm just kind of like ready to just go nature and browns, and I just really want to do that. So anyway, this has a lot of that in it, so I'm very drawn to this. And I committed to do this like a month ago, and she's probably like, oh, well, you know, I guess she's not going to do it. Well, you know what? Christmas just hit me right between the eyeballs. And also, too, traveling. You know, when you're trying to travel. Luckily, I don't know how. Now, we weren't flying. We were driving. And we were driving because we took my little, my puppy Dory and her sister, Summer, my son's dog, with us to the cabin or the house that we rented in Colorado in Winter Park. Now, we did get 14 inches of snow one day. It snowed practically the entire time we were up there. They only ended up going skiing one time, or snowboarding or whatever, because we were kind of snowed in. But the day we needed to leave, we had total sunshine, and we were able to leave. And everybody's flight, even though a few of them were delayed, they all got out. We kind of hit the sweet spot as far as all the travel issues and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know how we did it. And it was so funny because there was no snow up until that time. Everybody was bummed. This is like a fussy cut thing that she has. There are so many pages and so many things in this, guys, and I am really excited because you know what, you can tell this is somebody that gets it, because you always need these little things, you know, when you're making a journal, right? I'm just showing you all the different things, the pockets, the tabs. I don't know that I'll use all these, but I just want to show everybody as I'm talking. But anyway, so we got a ton of snow, and before we went up there, everybody was like bummed, and you could tell people like, oh, it hasn't snowed at all. My son that lives in Colorado, hasn't snowed at all. It's terrible. And oh my gosh, it snowed, let me tell you, and it's still snowing. But it was beautiful, 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 beautiful. And I think I have a video, a little snippet that I will put on the end of this video if I can, just to give you an idea of how much snow. It was gorgeous, gorgeous. Oh my gosh. And the place that we rented backed up to a nature preserve, and it went back forever. And it was just all woods in the mountains. Oh my gosh. Just, I don't even know. I was in love. It was great. I'm ready to go back. The kids were all bummed because of the snow, and they couldn't, you know, but they had a great time. The one day we were kind of snowed in, and they got a late start. They could have made it because by noon everything was cleared up, but all the cousins were there, and they're all adults now, but they actually made this big fire, and I made a snowman, and they were gonna make an igloo, but I guess they got cold or something. It was really, really fun, and we had a great time. And oh my gosh, I can't wait to do it again. And all of these pictures are kind of remind me of that. It was just snow everywhere. But anyway, so I'm really kind of wanting to do this, and I'm just kind of showing you all the different things. And this is all Winter's Tale, so this all comes with it. These are just some extra pages. I always print, like I'll misprint, I'll do it on the wrong one, or I'll print extra pages because I want to do something with these pages. So those are just kind of extras. And I don't even think I printed everything. I printed most of it, but I didn't print all of it. So anyway, that is a Winter's Tale by Tailor Made Journal, and I'm definitely going to be using that. But I did want to show you guys, I think a small clip will work. I've got this one also, and they go together extremely well. That's why I picked this, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to make two separate ones, or I'm going to make one, or I haven't made up my mind. So that just I don't think you can see the little snowflakes on there. This one is, where's the name of that one? Winter's Magic, I believe. Yeah, Winter's Magic from Tailor Made Journals. And so this is, you can see, let me see if I pull up another one. Color-wise, the difference is this is very brown and blues and kind of grayish. This one is very similar, but it has some green in it and a little touches of red. You certainly could mix these. I mean, you could certainly mix these two. Let me get another one so you can see. I mean, definitely, right? I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. I'm not sure if I'm just going to do two separate journals, or if I'm going to mix it. I don't know yet. I haven't made up my mind. I am going to do two journals. I don't know if I'm going to do just, but if you do decide to get these two kits, they definitely can be mixed for sure. It's just that Winter's Magic has a little bit splashes of green and a little splashes of red, and that's what I would say is the main difference. There's the other side. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. They just look like beautiful hand painted watercolor pictures all over. Just gorgeous, and everything is just is beautiful. So yeah, so I haven't 100% made up my mind. We shall see. But I love them. I love them. So you know, of course I'm trying to make two journals, but that's okay. We will do that. And isn't that beautiful? Gosh. But I'm telling you, see, like here's the other one. Those go together so well, right? So, I don't know. You tell me. Why don't you tell me in the comments what you think I should do? Should I just make two journals and mix them, or two separate journals? Right? I don't know. I just can't. I've been looking at them forever, and I can't make up my mind. So I just can't. I cannot make up my mind. They're absolutely beautiful. I love them. Oh, I just invoke that. See, and this has like a little bit more purple. Just a little bit more color, I guess. So I guess it just depends on what you're looking for, you know, or what you feel like. So but you can certainly mix these two, that's for sure. And it would look wonderful. gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And as I said, I don't even think that I printed all of these. I'm pretty sure I didn't, because let's get this calendar. Isn't that cool? Oh, the other thing too, when I print these, I print them on, you know, cardstock and parchment paper, and it's kind of a beige color. It's a little, it's like an ivory. It's not really a white, so they're brighter if you do them on white. I do them this way because I like that kind of muted. I always like a more muted type look, but I just want to say that so that you know, going in, they would probably be brighter if you did them on white, more vivid. But I just like them this way. That's why I do it. Yeah, those are gorgeous. Ugh. Yeah, it's going to be hard. Definitely, definitely going to be hard to figure this out. So maybe I'll get some help with you guys. And then a few extra pages that I did. This one I really love. My printer messed up, but I'll just make an envelope. Whenever I have issues like that, like if my printer messes up, or I did one upside down, or I printed one twice, I always keep on because I usually end up using it somewhere. I do know probably I'm going to use these mail. I remember last year I was so excited when I got a couple of them, and this year I got tons. So I want to use these mainly because I want to do like that leather look on the outside, and I thought that we could start on that today. I don't really want this to be a super long video. First thing I do is I open them up, and sometimes they're just super easy to open up, sometimes you're not. You're trying not to rip this here because you do need this. Like you saw how easy the other side was. And the reason I open them up is on the inside there's no writing, and you're not trying to cover that up then, okay? Now, if you do these, okay, the problem that you will find with this size is that you cannot, okay, so this is what, 12 inches, and my pages are going to be, let me just get a page and I'll show you. Now, my Epson does not print borderless. I don't know, somebody told me that has the exact same one I do that they can get it to. I haven't worked on mine forever and can't figure it out. But this will be the perfect size, okay? And it'll give me, let's see, what did I decide? If it's 12 inches, and then this is what? Just about 5 1/4. And this is, okay, so that would give me, well, it's not quite 12. So 5 and 5 is 10, so it would give me at least an inch spine, which is more than enough for you know, a one signature journal. So it turns out to be about the right size. Now they do have bigger mailers, and I have them, so if I wanted to do this and make a bigger spine, I definitely could do that, you know, but it just so happens that this size works out really well. I don't know. So basically what I do, and I don't worry about any of the writing on the inside or anything, I just kind of fold it. There's like a natural line to where it comes together. And I take that and I just do like that. Make sure I kind of get the line kind of straight. Okay. And this is a great journal for beginners, I think, because you end up, for the most part, not having to do a whole lot to the cover. The size is good, and it's a one signature journal, so it's not that hard to sew in. Let me get my cutter out and I'll cut it with that. I could use my scissors, but this will cut straighter. And so the height wise on this, I want it to be right about 8.5. So I am just going to take this and make it 8.5. Put it in my cutter. I don't know, maybe I'll make it 9. Let's just make it 9. I don't know. I'm thinking 9 would be better because the top's going to be glued a little bit. So let's just do 9. We'll make it 9. And I've got that in there reasonably straight. Okay, so I'm going to put that in there at 9. And this will cut through both of them. And so now we'll have a nice straight edge on top, okay? So then what I'm going to do after that, we've got this, and you can see that it's all, there should be like a little extra piece right here. I just usually rip that off and try not to rip the inside, because structurally you want this other part, you don't want it to be ripped too much. And when I do these, I usually have an inside pocket right here in my cover, just because you can, because it's just kind of already there. So anyway, so I ripped that part off there. That's all I did. And now all I'm going to do is I will glue this, okay? I'm going to glue this up here, and then I will sew around here and around here. A lot of times too, I will go ahead and it just depends. I can put paper on the inside, you know, so when you open it you see it, or you can just leave. I'm going to probably just leave it the way it is. And just for looks, you can go ahead and sew right here and right here, okay? And then when you fold it and then you sew up here, okay? I think I'm going to do that today just for looks. But before I do any of that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make it my leather look. And you guys have been watching me. You have seen this many times. But I'm going to do it again because there's maybe some people that haven't seen it. And as I said, I'm going along the lines of craft with me more than anything. Oh, in case some of you haven't noticed, this is just spools here. I have taken my old spools and I put the little padded things on there because I figured out, guess what guys, they fit on there perfectly. They fit in my hand. And you know what? I don't want to buy a bunch of these, so I've been doing that, and they work really well. So that's just something to think about. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is get my little daubers out because I'm going to take my walnut stain and my vintage photo, and I have this opened up all the way because this is, we're going to make both sides leather looking. And I'm going to take, well, I really want to crunch it a little bit. I like to have lots of wrinkles in mine, so I'm just going to kind of go like this, go like this. And if you don't have one of these mailers, you could just use brown paper and glue it on to whatever you want to, but I like it to be kind of smushed. Now you can wet it to make it more wrinkled, but I have found that this works fine. And the reason you're putting the wrinkles in is what it will do is it will take the ink differently. Okay, don't worry, you can straighten it out. So see all those wrinkles? Those are good. Wrinkles are good here. And we're just going to take This one is Vintage Photo, and I am just going to take it and put it all over. And you can use a brush to do this, but I think it goes on, and I don't need it perfect, okay? I just really trying to get the color on here, and you'll see in a minute. Get more on there. I should have re-inked this. Let me see if my other one, I have another Vintage Photo under here, if it's inked better. I haven't, yeah, I think that one might be better. Yeah, it has more ink in it. But you just take that and you can see how it goes in the peaks and the valleys and the whatever else. And we're going to do that. And you're going to do that all over. Okay. And I am just going to do this and hit everything. And then you guys will see me when I'm done with this. Okay, now that I've done my Vintage Photo, I'm going to put a little bit of walnut stain on there too. Not as much, but I am going to kind of hit the tops of my little velvets. You know, you can tell the difference. It's quite a bit darker, but I do want a little bit of two different tones in there. And I'm going to hit the top with that a little bit here and there. And a lot of it just depends too on the color that you want, you know. Okay, and I'm going to do that on the other side. And I'm not doing as much, you know, as I did with the Vintage Photo. And that is my preference. Okay. And you may want to work with this a while and get it to how you want it. Now what I do is I take my little sprayer and it just mists it a bit. And the reason I do that is what it does, because of this ink is activated by water, it kind of spreads it all over, which is really cool, you know, right? So then I don't get it soaking wet, but I do get it wet enough to where the color kind of bleeds, okay? So then you can look at it and decide, well, do I want to put more here or there? Like, I think I could use a little bit more walnut here and there. Okay. You know. All right. Just do a little bit more here and there, I think. And again, like I said, this is totally to your taste. It's not, you know, there's not a formula. This is personal preference, okay? You may not want all the wrinkles in it. You may not want the two colors. You may not want more dark than light, whatever. Okay, so now I'm going to dry that real quick, and then we will be right back. Okay, so now I have kind of, it's not all the way dry, but it's dry quite a bit. And it will look a little different everywhere. Now what I do, and I didn't used to do this before, but I love doing this, and this really finishes it off, is I take this Stains by Patty Pockets, and I think you could probably get a similar effect if you were to take like Mod Podge and then mix it with little distress ink and stuff. It would probably look similar. But what I'm going to do is I am going to, let me get a piece of paper down here, so when I do the edges it doesn't make a huge mess. I'm going to take my Stains by Patty Pockets, and I am going to just go over this whole thing with a wider brush. I'm still finding glitter from Christmas everywhere. Okay, and I'm gonna go over that, and I probably will just go one coat. Sometimes I do two. Just depends on how dark I want it to look. But the thing that does is, you know how we sprayed the water on? Okay, and spread the stain around? Well, this has a water base to it too, and what it will do is, okay, it's a stain and it'll darken it, but at the same time it will also spread the distress ink around as well. So that's kind of cool. Get that up. So usually I just do one coat and it's plenty, but you know, you just depends on the look you want. And I am looking for just kind of a leather, not super dark look, but you know, you can make it as dark as you want depending upon your stain. Now I have done this before with brown shoe polish, and it worked very much similar. But the cool thing about the distress stain is that it is water activated, so this whole step just kind of blends it even more. And then I just take this, and I think one will probably be enough on this, and I'm going to do both covers exactly the same way, and then I will be decorating them. And gosh guys, at this point I'm not even sure what I'm going to do, but I will bring you along for the ride so you can see what I do. And I think, like I said, this is a great journal for new people, because I, of course, you know, I always go in and usually try to do something that's kind of above my you know, my experience level, because I really do like to challenge myself. But if I had it to do over, out of all the journals I've done, which I don't know, I've probably done, gosh, at least 100 by now, I would say that a journal like this would probably be one of the easiest journals that you could do. Even more than tearing a book apart, even more than a cloth. And I mean, it's just as one of the easiest journals that you can make, because it's super easy. I mean, as far as if you're going to sew in a journal, and I do think everyone should try that, because sometimes I think all of the different things that ways that you can do it other than a 3-hole pamphlet stitch are actually more work. But that's just my opinion, and I've done them all and I've had them. But anyway, so that is what you're going to do. I know it looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Well, wait till it's dry, then it really looks cool. So what I'm going to do is, you know, I'm going to dry it. I'll be back and I'll show you what it looks like. And I think what I'm going to do is I'll dry it. I'm going to go ahead and dry this, and I'm going to go ahead and sew all the way around it, and then sew it together to show you what it looks like pretty much finished other than decorated. Okay, so I will be sewing, basically just sewing around it, okay? And then I'll put it together and sew it, okay? So I will be right back, guys. So I did want to show you before I finish this. I sewed here and here, and I used brown thread. I probably should have used black, but just for looks. It doesn't really serve a purpose. And on this part, I'm going to sew the bottom of this. It's already attached, okay? But the top part is actually going to serve a purpose, and I'm going to just use some glue stick first. And the big thing is I want to get this fairly even on top, you know, so that when I do this, when I do sew it, and it should be even because I cut it evenly with my cutter, so, but I may not have folded it exactly even, so yeah, I'll get that over there. And I just use a glue stick to kind of put it in place. It's not really holding it, but I'm going to go ahead and just sew across the top. Okay, and then that will be it. So I'll be right back. I went ahead and sewed, cut those, and so here is our cover, and I guess it doesn't really matter which side's the inside and which is the out. I guess you could, decide that on your own. I have made these before where I put material on the outside, like usually a type of upholstery fabric or something, but I'm not going to on this one, just because I want that leather look to it. So anyway, that is our cover. We haven't decorated it yet, but it does look like leather, kind of, I think. And I'm going to do 2 of them, so there'll be 2 basically the same, and then we'll move forward. I'm not sure if I'm going to decorate the cover or if I'm going to go ahead and work on the inside first, or tags, or whatever we're going to do. I'm just going to kind of go with the flow, whatever I feel like doing, and I'll just turn on the camera. But that is going to be our single signature journal that I have made. Let's see. Yeah, this is just a little over 8.5, maybe 8 3/4, and it'll be 5 3/4. So let's see, that means we'll have a 1/2 inch and a half. It'll have a 1 inch spine. So this will have a 1 inch spine approximately, because it's a flexible journal. So that's what makes it really fun and easy, and a great thing to do, and you're recycling and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, we will be back. I'm not going to really call it part 2. I'm just going to say winter journal craft with me. That's probably how it's just going to be. And I don't know how many there'll be, and it's not really meant to be a start to finish. It's just going to be you can craft with me while I'm doing my winter journal. Okay, guys? So I'll see you again, and everybody take care. And just an idea of what my plans are. I just wanted to give you those so you can kind of know what to expect. And I'll see you soon. Take care.